Now, this is the second part of our network equations lecture. It is also related to our chapter number 3 of our book. In this, we are going to study further techniques to solve the equations which we have studied in a previous. So first of all, if we are going to have complex equations or number of equations for a circuit, and it is very difficult to solve or find out the value of current, especially in case of nodal, if we have 5 or 6 nodes or complex nodes, 4 or 5 complex nodes, how we are going to find out the value of current? So the easy method which we have studied previously also is Cramer's rule, or we can use the matrices to find out the value, to find out the equations. So to use the matrices, we first have to study how can we find the value of determinant. Yes, the determinants are mathematical tools we will use for systematic solution of simultaneous equations, right? If we are having a n by n matrix, then we can find out the value which are required. We first have to find out the determinant, and after that we can find out the required values. Now, how can we find the determinant? If this is the matrix given 1 2 3 4, the values, what we are going to do, the determinant of 2 into 2 matrix is the difference of its product of its two diagonals. You have to multiply 4 with 1 and 3 with 2, 4 with 1 and 3 with 2, and subtract them, take their difference. This value is called the determinant. Or if we have a b c d, then ad minus cb, it can be denoted with this symbol. Similarly, as in our case, if we are having equations this like this, a1x plus b1y is equal to c1, a2x plus b2y is equal to c1. Now we have to find out the value of x and y. If we have 4 5 equations, how can we directly solve them and find out their values? We will use the determinant method. Now make the matrix which is equal to c1 c2. Now put the value of c1 c2, and on the other hand put the value of b1 b2 divided by determinant of the matrix. What we are going to get? We are going to get the value of x. Similarly for y, put the value in y column, c1 and c2 and a1 and a2 same, divided by determinant, and what we are going to get? We are going to get the value of determinant. Can also tell us, the Cramer rule is basically tell us the how many solutions our matrix can have. If determinant is not equal to 0, the system is consistent and has one unique solution. It is having a unique solution. If D is equal to 0, at least one numerator determinant is 0, the system is dependent and has infinitely many solutions. If D is equal to 0 and neither numerator determinant is 0, the system is inconsistent and has no solution, right? Now, if this is another example, if this is the equation, you can convert it into this kind of matrix and find the determinant, and as it is not equal to 0, so the system is consistent, as this tells us. Now find out the value of x and y as we have done previously. You can find out the solution. Similarly, this is a network analysis problem. We have to find out the value of I1, I2 and I3 with the help of these three equations. What we are going to do, we will make matrix. After that, you have to adopt the same procedure. After that, find out the determinant. This matrix is determinant matrix. Then you can find out the value of I1 by putting D1 over delta. What is delta? Delta of our whole matrix. Similarly, you can find out the value of I2 and I3. You have to solve it by yourself so that you can easily understand the process. If you are going to use the determinant method, it is not a compulsion. You have to practice the questions 3 to 41 till 48 for your practice of determinants and matrices. Now, This is the question related to our topic, graphical representation and its input and output of our network. This is your exercise question. This is network A, it is having a resistor. This is network B, it is having a capacitor. This is V2 waveform, it is having the values at 1, 2, 3 and 4 up till 4 time, and it's having an amplitude of 2 volts. You have to draw the value of V1. This value you have to find out. What you are going to, it is the same procedure we have adopted previously. You first have to find out the slope, if it is a slope in the input or in the given value of voltage. Now from time span 0 to time span 1, we are going to find out the slope, and the value of slope we get is V2 is equal to 2t. Now again, what we are going to do next, we are going to apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law to our circuit. So for my convenience, I have redrawn the circuit again. Now write KVL, minus V1 plus IR plus VC is equal to 0. As VC is equal to V2, that is the given. So if we have to find out the value of current across IC, current across the circuit, that is IC as it is given, I can use C dVC over dt, that is C dV2 over dt, as V2 is also given. So find the value of IC. The value of C is 1, d over dt into 2t. We got I is equal to 2. From time interval 0 to 1, our I is 2, and it is same in my circuit. Why? Because it is a series circuit. Now what we are going to do next? We are going to put the value of current in our equation. What we get? We get V1 is equal to 4 plus 2t. 2t is our V2 in this time interval from 0 to 1. We find out the slope from 0 to 1 in first step, right? After that, as we have to find out the value for both intervals, for both points from 0 to 1, so when we put t0, we got the value V1 of 0 is equal to 4, and when we put the value of t is equal to 1, we got the value of 6. Now from interval 1 to 3, we had a constant waveform, right? So if we put the value of constant to find out the value of current in derivative, value of V2, that is constant at 2 volts, then what we are going to get? We are going to get 0. The derivative of a constant is 0. Now putting values in our KVL in interval 1, 2, 3, we got I is equal to 0. So when we multiply R with I, we got 0, and our V1 is equal to 2. So V1 is 2 for value of t is 1, and V1 for value of t is 3 at 3 when t is 3, then again the same value, that is 2, right? Now for last interval from 3 to 4, again we first have to find out the slope. The slope we got by using the formula is minus 2t plus 8. This is, now after finding the slope, you have to find out the current I for this interval. The current is C dV2 over dt, 1 into d over dt minus 2t plus 8, and what we got is I is equal to minus 2. Put this value in KVL. After putting this value, what we got is V1 is equal to minus 2t plus 4. Now, for interval 3 to 4, we have to put the value of 3 and 4 in our given equation one by one. Then we put the value of t as 3, we got V1 of 3 is equal to minus 2. And similarly, when we put the value of t as 4, we got the value as minus 4. Now, our final step, we have to draw the waveform, draw the V1 waveform which we were finding out. Now what we are going to do, we are going to plot the V1 of t, the values we find for V1 of t at different intervals, from interval 0 to 1, from interval 1 to 2, and from interval from interval 1 to 3, and from interval 3 to 4. So from interval 0 to 1, we got the value of V of 0 is equal to 4, and what was V of 1? It was 6. It was from interval 0 to 1. Similarly, for interval 1 to 3, what was our values? At v of 1, we got 2, and at v of 3, what we got? We got again 2. Why? Because we had the current 0 and we had no t in our equation. So it is a straight line, no t. It is a constant value, that is 2. So we have drawn a constant over here. Now from interval 3 to 4, we got v of 3 is equal to minus 2 and v of 4 is equal to minus 4. So this is our required waveform, right? You have to solve the remaining questions like this by using this method. You have to solve all the exercise questions from 3.8 through 3.16. They are related to the example I have solved for you, and I will collect the assignment by myself in the class, and you are going to have a short viva of 5 marks regarding this assignment. Okay, thank you. Looking forward for your response.